Good morning. Today is Friday, June 12th, TGIF. We made it through the week. My name is Adam Handler. I am your case handler. Thank you for joining us this beautiful, beautiful sunny morning. The sun is shining, the weather is sweet. I'm here to move your dancing feet to the rescue. Here I am, your case handler. Good morning to you. You are now officially cruising with the case handler, a morning show on 93.5 and streaming live to Facebook. And yesterday was an afternoon show streaming live to Facebook, hosted by yours truly, Adam Handler and David Aniki. Good morning again. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We're here to talk personal injury. We're here to talk immigration. We're here to talk about current events. We're here to talk about our law firm, which is Pollack, Isaac, and DeSico. And most importantly, we're here to talk about how we can help you. The good news for you guys out there listening is that you have lawyers out here that actually care, that actually want to help, and will give you a 100% free phone consultation as long as you mention this radio show or the case handler or Squeeze or 93.5. There's a lot of secret words you can use, but there's no secret out there that our information is 100% free. And our phone number is 844-774-3529. That's 844-774-3529 or 844-PPID law. I am the partner of the personal injury department. I've recovered over $120 million for victims of negligence in New York and New Jersey over the course of my career. I hope you never need my services, but God forbid you do. You're going to want what you and your family believe to be the best possible attorney fighting for your one and only shot at financial justice. There are no redos in personal injury. You have one chance, one choice of attorney, your case handler. 844-774-3529. With me today, as always, are Conrad, the Maestro Pollack, and Nelson, the Maverick Madrid. Conrad is the managing partner of the firm Pollack, Isaac, DeSico, a second-generation attorney who took over the practice from his father in the mid-'80s and has certainly built something that I think everybody on this panel and everybody listening should be really, really proud of. And Nelson Madrid, another partner of the immigration practice, is here every morning with us on 93.5 at 8:30, talking about immigration, talking about change of status, talking about citizenship, talking about deportation. And today we have an associate of the immigration department, Yi Zhao, here to give you some current events about some recent decisions in immigration and also to let everybody know what we do as a firm to help you out there legitimize your status here in the United States or deal with any other immigration issues you could possibly come across if, God forbid, you are faced with them. David Aniki, you are the host of the show. This is your airtime. This is your home field. Do you have anything to say on this beautiful, beautiful Friday morning?
I just wanted to say that we have hit a record number of people concurrently watching us this morning. They already hit above what we have hit yesterday. It's amazing. So I want to welcome each and every one as Adam Handler, my co-pilot on the show called Cruising with the Case Handler is all about. And of course, we're talking on personal injury. And yes, we are speaking on immigration. He introduced the panel already. He introduced 3 prominent immigration attorneys. And of course, he is the $120 million man because he has settled that much in settlements for his clients where personal injury is concerned, accident cases. With that said, we are ready to jump right into it, ladies and gentlemen. And we are going to be speaking a lot about personal injury. We're going to be speaking a lot about immigration. On personal injury, I love true success stories. I love the demonstration of Adam Handler, the case handler, AKA the shark, because he goes after your opponent very aggressively to get you the maximum amount of money. Okay, so we're going to get true success stories from him. And also, we will be answering your immigration questions on the show today. So 93.5 FM listeners, turn up your radios. Also, it's very important, 93.5 FM listeners, that you subscribe to our Facebook channels. That being mine, David Squeeze Aniki, Adam Handler's, the case handler page, PPID's page, Pollack, Isaac, and DeSico. Subscribe to it so this way you can get notifications when we go live. So once again, the number, let me do this before we even jump into it, gentlemen. Every single person that's listening to us and watching us right now, I'm about to give you a number. If you call this number and you don't get a free immigration consultation, okay, I will stop doing this show permanently. That's a challenge. Don't let me down, PPID. Can you imagine? Conrad picks up the phone and say, hey, by the way, tell them no free.
I think we're safe, dude.
You think we're safe, Adam? We're safe,
not,
right?
Man, listen, you know, when you've got a reputation like Pollack guys at Tesico, and of course we can never guarantee a successful result, but you know, we're really good at what we do, and I'll be the first to say it. And not only are we really good at what we do it the right way. Our clients are literally like family. And in fact, if you go on my website, thecasehandler.com, you would want me to put the $120 million man, right? Because you're all about that. Google, you're about those big bucks.
I want to see that on the top. Okay.
But that's not what it says. When you go to casehandler.com, the first message to you is we treat our clients like family.
That is true.
That's exactly what we do. And that's what's the most important part of being a good lawyer. Treating with your clients with respect, letting them understand the process, be part of the process, feel comfortable with the process, and then feel amazing when you win that big case for them.
That's what I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen. So with that said, okay, make sure, ladies and gentlemen, that of course you tune in right here and take our advice. Call this number, ladies and gentlemen. The number to call right now is 844-774-3529. Everyone on 93.5 FM, switch to Facebook right now. You'll see what we all look like. We got 5 of us on the panel. The number once again is 844-774-3529. We are ready to answer any and all immigration questions. Yes, we are. We're ready to, of course, turn up the band, call the case handler, Adam Handler, who's settling cases left, right, forward, and obviously in the COVID time. The number to get a free phone consultation right now, immigration phone consultation, is 844-774-3529. Going to give it out 2 more times. If you call now, you're guaranteed a free immigration consultation off the air, privately and confidentially. Ready? 844-774-3529. That's 844-774-3529. Make the link, make the call, make the connection, make it PPID. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, let's jump right into it as our numbers soar on Facebook. Thank you all so much for tuning into David Squeezaniki's page, Adam Handler's page, and PPID's page. Gentlemen, how y'all feeling today? Everybody's hype. It's Friday. Okay. Welcome again, Yi. Everybody's good? Y'all good? Y'all great?
All good.
Irie.
All good.
Good morning.
Irie. Nelson says he's Irie. What does Irie mean, Nelson?
Irie means I'm good.
Okay, there you go. Adam, I don't know, man. I think we got somebody here with, you know.
Yeah, the first thing he said to me is like, yo, nice shirt, man.
There you go. Yeah, man. All right, so let's jump into it. Adam, you want us to jump it off with a true success story, or do you want Conrad to give us some update on any news that's happening out there? Because
you know what, we're going to save the true life success story for after the top of the hour. I just want to let everybody out there know like what we're doing here in the personal injury department, because the numbers are pretty impressive. You know, we're all working from home. You know, we're not in the office. We're going to be slowly transitioning back to the office, hopefully within a few weeks. The courts are closed, right? I mean, that's a given. The courts are closed. They're starting to resume operations, you know, just for court staff, and we're starting to do court conferences. But I just want to go over some of these numbers of what we've been doing since March 1st. I mean, we started the year off, you know, really, really strong. You know, we're coming off our best year. Last year, 2019, case handler victories, $26,722,457.58. And before the pandemic hit, we were on pace to come pretty close, if not beat that this year. Last year was an amazing year, but these are some of the big numbers. I'm not going to read through every settlement, but let's see. Since March 1st, 32. Since March 1st, we've settled 39 cases, which is pretty good considering I've been doing it from basically my living room. 100,000, 2.5 million, 50,000, 197,500, 622,500, 152,500, 72,000, 60,000, 470,000, 100,000, 225,000, 100,000, 500,000, 175,000, 150,000, 100,000. 75,000, 150,000. Those are just the big ones. I mean, we've had plenty of others smaller in there, some as low as 8,500, some 99,000 right there. But the point of what I'm saying the point of this is, and I don't mean to brag and I don't mean to boast, as Sugar Hill says, it's something that we're really proud of, because it just shows you the efficiency and the productivity of our firm, even during these times. And Conrad and Nelson and Yi will attest to the same thing, that we've been literally speaking to hundreds of immigration perspectives. I mean, we are running full speed, or as close to full speed as possible during this time. So can you imagine what we're going to be doing once we're back in the office, once the courts open up again? I mean, it's going to be probably the greatest period of growth and success for Pollack Isaac DeSico, maybe in the history of the firm. And I'm calling it, and I think Conrad is going to confirm it. I mean, he's been running the practice for 30-something years, and he's seen some great years, and he's seen some great successes. But I really believe that we as a firm are absolutely primed to just destroy it for our clients once things open up. And it's because we have a wonderful reputation, we have amazing staff, we have wonderful attorneys. And now, thanks to this show and all the other endorsements we've had on this radio station and social media, people are really understanding the types of attorneys we are and the type of firm we are. So I am so excited for what the future will bring. We've been really down in the dumps kind of mentally between the pandemic and all the social issues in our country right now. But I know we're all going to come out of this stronger than ever, and we're going to certainly be coming out of it stronger than ever as a firm. So with that said, I will pass it to Nelson, Yi, and Conrad to let everybody know exactly what's going on in the immigration department and what's going on in the immigration world.
Okay. Once again, folks, you're in tune to Cruising with a Case Handler, where we speak on personal injury and, yes, immigration. You just heard from Adam Handler, once again, a top personal injury attorney in, of course, the tri-state area. If you do get hurt in an accident, you will need him, in my opinion. And that number happens to be 844-774-3529. Dial it now, let it ring, store the number. That's 844-774-3529. That's 844-774-3529. Let's flip it to, of course, the maestro on, of course, the immigration section here. How you doing today, maestro? Okay, let me unmute you.
Unmute yourself, brother.
No, I muted him when he got
okay. All right.
So I have to unmute him.
You going to silence the maestro?
Good.
There you
go. Great.
Good.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
We're good.
Loud and clear.
Okay. Good morning. I just have some things going on around my house here. I'm outside, and it's a little noisy here. Anyway, good morning, and it is a beautiful TGIF Friday, and many things happening. I'm going to introduce Yi Zhao in a sec, and he'll tell you, give you a few details in terms of what has been happening last day or two. An important federal case just came down recently, which will be of interest to a lot of the folks out there who are listening to us. And there are new asylum rules that are just about to come out, which are pretty much changing the asylum procedure as the United States has known it. Basically, the administration is clamping down and not really going to let many people apply for asylum anymore. And also next week, apparently there's another presidential proclamation coming down, which is going to be pretty bad stuff. It sounds like the administration is going to be temporarily banning pretty much all kinds of temporary workers from coming to the United States, at least till October 1st. That's the early word we have. More on that next week, unfortunately. But other than that, everything's great with the world, huh?
Business as usual. Okay.
Yeah, right. And look, that's actually been, for the last 3 years, our MO has been to react, to deal with every blow that comes from the administration, because this administration, one thing that they have been good at, one thing that the Trump administration has been true, that he's been true to his word about, is banning immigration, stopping the flow of immigrants coming to the United States. And that's not just those bad guys that he's always referring to. It's all sorts of immigration, and that's including professionals and people from Europe. And it's not just people of color. It's white immigrants, it's brown immigrants, it's yellow immigrants, you name it. Basically, if you're an immigrant, the sign is, as he said, we're full. And that really is how it's playing out. And next week is going to be a pretty large announcement going in that direction. But anyway, other than that, as I said, Yi Zhao is here, and he is our resident intellectual. Yi,
Like that.
it's the truth though. Whenever something new comes down the pike, or if there's a complicated decision, we always throw it over to Yi to basically figure it out, and put it into terms that everybody can understand. Put it into layman's terms, and that's why Yi's here today to talk about a couple of important things. So, Yi, how are we doing today?
We're good, we're good. So I'm your guest on this show today, and as promised, there are a couple of big decisions that came down, one federal court and the other is a proposed asylum regulation. So let's start with the federal court thing. Okay, so a couple of days ago, the Southern District, which is the federal court down here in Manhattan, covers Manhattan and Westchester, this area, they came down with a ruling that says that ICE, which is the Immigration and Customs Enforcement, the people who go arresting immigrants who are here illegally, they cannot, I repeat, cannot arrest people in and around New York State courthouses. So before 2017, before the current president took over, this wasn't much of an issue. ICE had a long-standing policy not to conduct arrests in and around courthouses. But then in 2017, as they ramped up enforcement and began to arrest all sorts of people who were here illegally, that began to change, and there were a lot more arrests being conducted in and around courthouses. As a result, a lot of people, they just became afraid to go to court. That means that if they were victims of crimes, they didn't want to go to court, they didn't want to be witnesses, they didn't want to conduct meritorious family court actions and conduct meritorious defenses to their own criminal charges. It interfered with the state court administration in all sorts of ways, and there was evidence to show that. And that evidence was offered to the Southern District. The Southern District agreed that there was a substantial interference with the administration of the court system because of disruptions caused by these immigration arrests, because of intimidation of people from going to these courthouses. So as a result, the Southern District ruled that conducting these arrests in and around courthouses is going to be illegal. So that means that if you are subject to criminal charges, you absolutely should go and wage your legal defense. If you have been the victim of a crime, it is important absolutely to go and be a witness, if possible, in the courthouses. Personal injury, this is a huge example as well. If you have a case, personal injury, and you can be a witness in the courthouse, do not let immigration issues dissuade you from going to the courthouse, because the Southern District has now ruled that it is illegal to be conducting these arrests. So
Yi, let me interrupt for a sec. So if Adam has a personal injury case, and he's bringing in the family, and several of them don't have green cards, are you saying that those people don't have to worry about it if immigration is standing at the door asking for people to provide their green cards? Otherwise, they could be arrested. those people don't have to be concerned anymore?
That's correct. That's patent intimidation. That's your pretty much your garden variety intimidation, standing by the door and asking people for their green cards, asking people for their IDs. That's garden variety intimidation, and it greatly interferes with the administration of the court system, according to
Good
the
news.
Okay. It's great news. It's good to know, because people are paranoid, and rightfully so, especially with the dude that we got hanging out in the White House. Hopefully he'll be out by the end of the year, or early next year. That dude is not advocating for immigrants, as you noted earlier. So that's great news. It's fabulous news to know that people can actually get on with their lives around the court system.
So let's make sure everybody understands that, right? So if you're an out of status immigrant, okay, you are permitted, or let me start over. You should feel safe enough to go to court if you have a personal injury case. You should feel safe enough to go to court if you've caught a criminal case. You should feel safe to go to court if you're the victim of a crime. You should feel safe enough to go to court, to go to family court for custody, visitation, child support, orders of protection. We keep saying on this show, and we've been saying for almost 2 decades, that it doesn't matter who you are or where you're from. If you're here in New York, you have a right to access and use the courts if, God forbid, you need help, right? This new ruling from the Southern District further verifies the fact that you are welcome, and you should feel safe, and you should not be deterred by exercising your rights as a human being because you're out of status. And ICE cannot do anything about it. It's a very important ruling that I think really have long rippling effects as to access to the justice system for people that have been living in the shadows for so many years. And just another example of the information we're giving out to you guys to let you know how to protect yourself and your family. But of course, if you want to speak to us about any legal issue whatsoever, our phone number is 844-774-3529 or 844-PPID law.
That's 844-774-3529. That's 844-774-3529. Make that link, make that call, ladies and gentlemen, and find out more about your immigration situation. The Conrads, the Nelson, the Yis, they are ready to actually help you. Once again, if you have questions, feel free to put them on the Facebook page at David Squeezaniki's Facebook page, Adam Handler's Facebook page, or PPID, Pollack, Isaac, and Basico's page. Put your questions there now. Put your immigration questions there now, and we will get them answered by the immigration attorneys here on this beautiful day with birds in the background chirping, letting us know that life exists. All right. 844-774-3529. Anything else you'd like to add, Yi, before we flip it over to Adam Handler?
Yes, as I mentioned, there were 2 pieces to the news that I have to report today. And so we just got through the good part. Unfortunately, there's also bad news. And I also have to report the bad news in terms of new restrictions put on by the Trump administration. So those administration changes don't mean that you won't be able to get immigration help, immigration relief, but they do affect it in certain ways. And my opinion may make it more important for you to seek out an attorney such as us if you need any sort of assistance. This would pertain to the asylum regulations. That's the new regulation that they're coming out with. And just so you're aware, regulations, it takes a few months to kind of come into force. They introduce the regulation, they have to set it open for notice and comment. It means the public has to be able to make their suggestions on it, send messages on what they believe are the merits and the downsides of this regulation, and only afterwards can the administration actually make this rule, this regulation, final. But at this point, they just have a proposed rule. But we think in all likelihood, as long as the president remains in office, this regulation is going to become final. It's only a matter of time. This regulation will seriously impact a person's eligibility for asylum by changing the laws in various ways. One of is that if you come across the border, and usually if you come across the border and you want to apply for asylum, they will give you an interview, and that interview will determine if you have what they call a credible fear that you will be harmed in your home country, that you will be persecuted in your home country. So this changes things in that now if you have a credible fear, the asylum officer can use all sorts of legal rulings that have come down against you. So it's now not just about the facts and whether you're afraid. Now they can use all sorts of legal rulings to deny you a credible fear, because they believe that the law may not grant you the ability to seek asylum in the first place.
I'm sorry, if I could interject for a second. These asylum officers, by the way, are not lawyers. Okay, so the person making a decision on your case, on whether or not you could even go forward, is a person who has taken a course, a non-attorney who's basically interpreting the law. I'm sorry, you continue.
Mm-hmm. So let's say you're in the United States already and you decide to apply for asylum. The first shot at that will come with these asylum officers, which, as Nelson just said, are not really trained in the law. They receive basic training in asylum regulations, and that's about it. Your first shot will come in the form of an interview with these immigration asylum officers. The new rule states that these asylum officers can now make what's called a frivolous finding. In the past, that was reserved only for immigration judges. What's a frivolous finding? That's been greatly expanded as well. In the past, the frivolous finding basically means you made something up when you filed your asylum application.
Hey, let me interrupt you. Let me interrupt you for a second there, Yi. All right. All right. And by the way, thanks for the information that you're going. Now I see why Conrad gave you that name, the intellectual resident. Okay. All right. This guy goes deep. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to the top of the hour on 93.5. And I am David Squeezanic, and I just wanted to make something very clear. The voices that you're hearing, ladies and gentlemen, are immigration attorneys and a personal injury attorney. Okay, I'm just the guy that moderates and steers the ship. However, seeing that we're going to the top of the hour and we're going to continue this show on Facebook, I want everyone to have the phone number now and also have the ability to switch to Facebook. First things first, the Facebook page is David Squeezanic. That's my page. Then you have got Adam Handler's page, the case handler's page. That's it. Type in the case handler. You've got PPID's page, which is Pollack, Isaac, and DeSico. Now, everyone that wants a free phone consultation, if you call within the next few minutes, you are guaranteed a free immigration phone consultation. But you got to dial now. The number is 844-774-3529. Let me be slower. 844-774-3529. Dial the number of a good law firm. That's PPID, 844-774-3529. Dial the number for the #1 personal injury attorney, 844-774-3529. And that's the case handler. The number, once again, 844-774-3529. That's 844-PPID-LAW.
It's 9 o'clock.
You got it, baby. You got it, baby.
All right. Cruising with a Case Handler continues now on Facebook. I want everyone on Facebook, please share the page in all the groups and on your timelines. We do appreciate it. All right. Share this knowledge with a lot of people. We've got a record show so far this morning, and we love the vibe, the energy. But we got to get to the numbers. Thanks to Linda. Thanks to all the people on Facebook. Every one of you. All right. Someone said steady but slow, but what's steady? Slow and steady wins it. All right. So love that. So once again, just share. With that said, let's return to the immigration attorney, Yi, who has been expanding on some information that you need. Yi, you may continue with, of course, what it is that you were speaking about, and then we'll flip it to personal injury.
As we transition over to the Facebook Live portion of the show, I've been discussing a new expansion of the asylum regulations, and that expansion could seriously impact everybody's right to apply for asylum. And one of the major changes that they're coming out with has to do with what's called frivolous asylum applications. And the frivolous asylum application, as it's always been known, has been something that if you make up a claim in your asylum application, if you say something that's just not true, then you could be forever barred from any sort of immigration relief. Now, I don't believe any of you will actually do that, but it's possible that you go to a notary or somebody who's not a licensed attorney, and they could be writing things in an asylum application that are not true, that have nothing to do with what you've told them. They could be applying for asylum and you don't even know they're applying for asylum. That could happen. So the expansion says that instead of just having immigration judges, which is the final arbiter for asylum claims, now they have barely trained asylum officers at USCIS that can make these findings that you have a frivolous asylum case and effectively bar you from any sort of immigration relief in the future. And so,
Hey, I'm sorry if I could interject. You know, a lot of these asylum claims are actually also questions of law, right? Where, you know, it's obviously a lot, in my opinion, it's a lot easier to explain a legal theory or a legal argument to a lawyer or to a judge than it is to a non-attorney. But these are the people who will be making decisions on these cases and determining whether or not they go forward. I'm sorry, can we, if I'd like to switch it over to personal injury, just to hear a true life success story. And then we could flip it back to immigration. Is that okay with everyone?
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, you want to do? Change your heart?
Huh? No, I feel that it's a lot of information to process. It's a lot of information to digest. You know, I think personal injury is just as important as immigration. So I'd like to switch it over, and I'm not even a co-host. I'm making myself, listen, I'm making myself a co-host.
Break it up. That's it.
Yeah, I'm making myself a co-host, but I just like to switch it over to personal injury because the show is about both personal injury and immigration. And then we could flip it back to immigration and maybe take some questions.
It's not cruising with the case handler, it's flying with the Maverick.
All right. So, but I want to say that information, Yi, powerful information. And I'm very happy that, you know, Conrad and Nelson, they have you at the firm, you know, with that depth where people can actually get help where that is concerned. So in other words, I understand what Conrad was saying. I understand what Nelson was saying, you know, that whenever there is something that is deep and intricate, you are the go-to man. And I want everybody that's watching this to understand that that's what you are all about, Yi, as an immigration attorney at PPID. All right. Beautiful. Great. We just didn't want to leave Adam out with his true success story. All right. So Adam, we didn't forget about you. Yi, stand by. We're coming back at you. All right. And then, yes, people, we will get to all the immigration questions. It's not that we're putting anything on the back burner. We're not putting Adam on the back burner with personal injury. We're not putting your questions on the back burner. It's just that we have a guest and he's giving a wealth of information to us. Thanks a lot, Nelson. Nelson, man, you can fly the plane if I'm not around.
Listen, I try, like, you know, I want to keep it interesting. I want to keep it interesting for everyone.
There you go. Adam, it's all yours.
I'm never, ever going to turn down an opportunity to talk, right? I think everybody knows that. But listen, one quick case. All right, I'll give you one quick case. I know Nelson likes these true life success stories. Hold on, before I do that, I got to actually put it up.
I love them.
I'm not sharing anything that I shouldn't be sharing as far as cases go. Hold on one second. All right, boom, here we go. All right, so true life success story. This is a great story. We've talked about it before, but I like to come back to the good ones. And I love this one, and not only because I have such a great tan going on in this picture, it's because I have a great client and a great friend. For the purposes of this promotion, she wanted to go by Tara W. Who is Tara W? Tara W, personal injury client who on Christmas Eve got into an accident. And why do I remember Christmas Eve? Because my birthday is actually Christmas Day, December 25th. And we were out the night before having a couple of cocktails with my friend, and I got this phone call. And of course, everybody that knows me, whether you're a client or prospective client, I'm generally available 24/7. Everything gets routed to my cell phone after hours. So anybody that needs to get in touch with me, either about a case, existing case, or a new case, is able to do so. And I remember she called and she said she got into an accident with a police officer. I'm like, really, what happened? Well, you know, the cop was making a left turn on a red light right in front of me, and I hit him. And as soon as the accident happened, he got out of the car and said, you know, why aren't you looking where you're going? And I said to him, I had the green light. And and all his police officer friends were coming up to me saying I should be more careful and I wasn't paying attention. And they actually blamed her in the police report for the accident, which is preposterous considering she had the green light. Make a long story short, we were able to get a surveillance video of the accident, which showed clearly that she had the green light, and clearly because of the sequence, we couldn't see the cop's light, but we know that if she had the green light, that the police officer must have had a red light just by the sequences of that specific intersection, that he wasn't telling the truth. And the city settled for $125,000 about a year later. And I like this case because, you know, it just shows that, you know, we hold everybody accountable, whether it's the city of New York, who is responsible for the police force, whether it's Geico, Allstate, Progressive, Travelers, any of the insurance companies. You know, they always like, we were talking about your friend Shaggy yesterday, the other day. It's always, it wasn't me, you know, and then all of a sudden, you know, the case handler gets involved, and it certainly is. So I love this. And I love the quote. If you just read, you know what, actually, Nelson, I'll tell you what, you wanted this so bad. Can you read that quote for me, brother?
Sure. Adam Handler and his team are one of the best attorneys in New York City. I felt like I was part of his family. You got to scroll down. I can't.
Oh, sorry.
Down. I can't see. And less for me as his client as he would do for his own family. The case handler team was on top of it and made sure I went to all of my appointments. A+++. Tara from Elmont.
Right.
That's it.
So, thank you, Nelson. Appreciate that. I know Nelson loves Testimonial Tuesday. He's like the biggest fan of Testimonial Tuesday. You know what? And Nelson and I, we joke around, especially when we're in the office, about these big cases, because Nelson sees firsthand what I do. You know, our offices are right around the corner from each other. So I think Nelson's keenly aware of the way I conduct my practice, and vice versa. I'm keenly aware of the way Nelson runs his practice. And again, we're both partners of the firm. So, you know, we have a little bit more insight into the dealings of the firm and the cases and how we deal with it more than other attorneys. But, you know, we have a great bond and a great respect for each other, because we know that we fight for each other and we fight for our clients very, very hard. So Nelson, thank you for inviting me to talk about a case. And you're not the general, but I'll still salute the Maverick, because what you do for the firm is truly amazing.
You know, Adam, well, actually, before I say what I want to say, the number is 844-774-3529. That is 844-774-3529. And I just want to touch upon something that you speak about often. You know, I had a client whose son fell off a second story, and his head hit a speaker, and his head was cracked. When the ambulance came to pick up her son, the driver of the ambulance and the paramedic were giving her the name of an attorney and telling her to contact an attorney. And this is my client telling me this story, by the way. And my client said to me that she basically told them, F you, my son is about to die. I don't want to talk about an attorney right now.
Precisely.
You know, so when Adam speaks about attorneys, you know, or how some attorneys have the people at the hospital giving you their cards, the ambulance drivers, the paramedics, this is true. But that is not how we conduct business. That is not how Adam conducts business. You know, Adam basically waits for the clients to call him. You know, Adam does not reach out to anyone, is not paying anyone, you know, to act as a liaison and refer people to him. And I think that is very important and speaks volumes, you know, because if my son were ill in a hospital, you know, had just fallen off a second story, you know, I'd probably be arrested right now. I'd probably have to call the Hammer, Greg Pinto, because I would have probably punched that guy when he's talking to me about a lawsuit and hiring a lawyer while my son is, you know, knocking on death's door.
Yeah. It's absurd as to what, you know, people are doing out there, but I'm very happy that we have got a firm rather, of integrity. And of course, with attorneys of integrity. And that's the reason why we appreciate you, Nelson. We appreciate you, Adam Handler. We appreciate you, Yi. We appreciate you, Conrad Pollack. Ladies and gentlemen, dial the number for personal injury, 844-774-3529. That's 844-774-3529. You need the right attorney when you get injured, ladies and gentlemen, because you've got one chance one choice, and he is the case handler, Adam Handler. The number, once again, 844-774-3529. That's 844-774-3529. Maestro, you're awfully quiet today. What happened last night? You can talk, my brother.
I'm just listening. You know,
Taking it all in.
I haven't, especially with Yi's recount of the new asylum, the proposed regulations. That's serious stuff, and I haven't had a chance to go through it yet. So I was listening intently to what he was saying, and also, no, I am concerned about the proclamation that's coming out next week. It's really going to cause some major disruptions for a lot of people around the world, and it's mind-boggling. Here we are 3.5 years in this administration, and still it's like these things just keep coming at us, and it's just, look, it keeps us busy, but you know, it's just to this point it's still just
it's
mind-boggling.
Mind-boggling. All right, here's a question for you. Maybe you can unboggle this. All right, immigration, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get to the first immigration question on the show today. And any of the immigration attorneys can jump in on this one. My husband is applying for a green card and I am his dependent. So would I receive it because of him? The thing is that when I was applying for the visa, I put the name of my uncle, my father's brother, because my father stayed illegally in the United States with a tourist visa. So I didn't put his name because I was advised not to. I wonder who advised it.
Hold on, whoa.
Now that we're in the green card process, I put my father's real name on the form. Would the green card be denied because of that?
All right. Again, her husband applied for her. Okay, I got that part. It sounds like she didn't indicate on her visa application, either when she applied for her visa at the consulate or when she submitted the forms to immigration. She didn't indicate everything that she should have. If it's relevant, if it's material information that that might have stopped some way for immigration to investigate her scenario or her case, then yes, that's a big problem. If it's immaterial, if she just neglected to mention someone's name that has nothing to do with the case, then it won't be a problem. Although immigration still at times, and guys, you'll back me up on this, we see this type of thing all the time, where somebody puts in the wrong information, or more likely leaves something out on an application form. Immigration says, you didn't say this, and you meant that you were supposed to say it, and you lied, and therefore we're denying your case. Frequently, we respond to immigration saying, yeah, they might have not included that information, but it doesn't matter because it wouldn't make a difference anyway. You know, if I didn't include my 3-year-old child that was born during the marriage, that doesn't interfere with the fact that my husband's applying for me. Irrelevant. All right. But again, if she did not disclose information that is relevant to her case, that's a serious problem.
Gotcha. Once again, folks, the number for the immigration attorneys, 844-774-3529. The number for PPID, Pollack, Isaac, and DeSico, 844-774-3529. Easily remembered, 844-PPID-LAW.
Squeeze, I have a question.
Squeeze. Let me finish. One more thought. One thing that this person should consider, you know, and we've said this before, and I'm going to say it again. Cases like this, you know, a couple of years ago, before Trump, you get denied, end of story. The case basically just nothing happened. These days, a case like that, if they determine that she misrepresented her situation or lied deliberately, committed fraud, whatever, she gets denied, very likely she's going to end up in removal proceedings. Right or wrong, they're going to end up in removal proceedings because the government is trying to remove as many people as they can, as quickly as they can. So she's in a precarious situation if it's a material misrepresentation she made.
Gotcha. Nelson.
I forgot what I was going to say. I'm sorry.
Train of thought. Good. All right. So here's another question. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, 844-774-3529. Question number 2. I am an international student, but I'm waiting for my F2B. Will I be able to get the SSN number for working while waiting? This is about social security.
All right, well, first off, F2B is an immigrant visa category. That's for adult children of a permanent resident, meaning an adult child, unmarried adult child over 21 years of age, being sponsored by a permanent resident mother or father. case like that could take anywhere from 8 to 10 years. She's not getting anything. I would strongly suggest if that person's in the United States, she better maintain her lawful status. She's a student right now. She better stay as a student or leave the country. If she becomes illegal, she's not gonna be able to adjust status in the United States, have to leave the country. She's not getting work authorization for a long time.
Wow. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, this is Cruising with a Case Handler, where we speak on personal injury and immigration. If you have a question, feel free to post it right there on Facebook. Okay, and we'll get to your question in a minute or two. And also, of course, don't forget to also use our WhatsApp group where you can actually text your question. However, we want to remind you that you can get yourself a free phone consultation by you calling 844-774-3529. That's 844-774-3529. Yes, Conrad, you were about to say something?
One piece of good news for that person, and this is a scenario we often see. The person's going to be waiting here in the United States. Her student visa will eventually expire. She doesn't want to go back to her country. Fine, she stays here. The good news is she will be eligible to apply for a waiver. She won't be able to adjust her status. She won't be able to get a green card in the United States. She will have to leave the country eventually to get a green card. But good news is she won't be barred for 10 years, which she would otherwise be, because she'll be eligible for a waiver because her parent, whoever applied for her, has a green card. She therefore has a qualifying relative to apply for a waiver and therefore thereby avoid the 10-year bar when she leaves the country. This is all, as you can see, complicated stuff, and I'm spouting it out really fast. This is why somebody like this person will need a lawyer. She's not going to be doing this case herself.
We'll need PPID. So call that number, 844-774-3529. One more question. I am from the Caribbean. I am the petitioner and my husband is the applicant. We are in the last stage of filing on husband's passport is with the embassy. Embassy is now closed with no signs of reopening anytime soon. Kindly help me out to proceed with my submission of documents.
Wait till the consulate reopens, then it'll proceed. There's nothing she can do until they reopen.
There you go. Very straightforward. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, Cruising with a Case Handler. The number to call is 844-774-3529. That's 844-774-3529. We're going to kick it back to Yi to hear if he has any finals on what it is he was expanding and expounding on. 844-774-3529. Gentlemen, anything you have to say before we kick it back to the man with the deep, solid knowledge on immigration?
The consulates should be reopening soon, by the way. They should be opening very soon. Go ahead, Nelson. I'm sorry.
I actually have a quick question for Adam. Adam, let's pretend that I have a personal injury case with another attorney and I'm not happy. How difficult is it to switch attorneys? And would I be able to have a consultation with you and discuss my case if I have another attorney working on the case?
That's a good question. And that's, I would say probably 20% of the phone calls that we get are people that are unhappy with their lawyer because they've either never met their lawyer or never hear from their lawyer, or their lawyer's trying to get them to take some kind of BS settlement. The short answer is it's easy to switch lawyers, and everybody, whether it's criminal, immigration, personal injury, matrimonial, doesn't make a difference. You have the right to switch counsel at any time, just like you have the right to switch doctors, plumbers, electricians. You know, this is a free country and you're not beholden to anybody. Now, if you owe your lawyer some money, you know, that's another thing. But the good news for you is that personal injury, you never owe your client, your lawyer money, because we work on contingency fee, meaning I get paid if and only if I'm successful for you. So at the end of the case, if there is a case that I do take over from prior counsel, you know, at the end of the case, we work out an arrangement on the split of the fee. The client still gets their same amount, regardless if they've had one attorney or 7 attorneys, and the attorneys split it up at the end. Sometimes it's a little battle between the attorneys, but we always figure out where work it out. And it's easy. You know, we just sign some forms and let everybody know that a new sheriff is in town, and we take it from there. So we do take cases over, but there's a lot of times where I'll advise clients, first of all, I'm disappointed that you didn't have my information, but you should stay with the attorney, because either it's a fair settlement, or maybe I just think that switching attorneys would just drag things out longer than it needs to be. There are some cases where it's a great idea to switch attorneys, but there are some situations where, you know, maybe it's a small case and the attorney's getting you a few dollars, and, I can't make that big of a difference in a significant amount of time that would make it worthwhile switching. But I'll be honest with you, I'm always straightforward. Listen, we're in the business of obtaining clients and winning cases, not turning people away. But there are certain situations that we do turn people away, whether it's a case that we just don't think it's prudent for us to take over, or it's not a case at all. Some people call me, they just got into an accident and either they caused it or they tripped and fell on the sidewalk. And I get this all the time. What did you trip and fall on? Well, I'm not sure. Well, then you got a problem. If you don't know what caused your injury, how the hell are we going to prove that? And if we can't prove it, you sure as heck are not going to win. So again,
by the way,
yeah,
go ahead.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, Adam. Same applies with immigration cases. Nelson, Yi, how often do we see clients calling us or coming in that already have a lawyer and want to switch? I mean, it happens daily.
Second opinions as well sometimes.
Right. I think everybody's biggest concern is whether or not that would adversely affect their case in any way. That's the question a lot of people ask, at least from immigration. If I switch lawyers, is that going to hurt my case? Is the judge going to frown upon that? So I was, just wondering how often you see that, Adam. And
yeah, well, let me flip it back to you. What about the situations? And I'm sure you've had this call. My interview's tomorrow. I haven't heard from my lawyer. Can I switch to you? I mean, what would you say in that situation? Can you get a continuance? And if so, I know in family court, what was so frustrating about family court is that, you can go in for the first hearing and then, somebody asks for an adjournment and they kick it out 4 months, which, first of all, if you haven't seen your child, right, in a couple weeks and you file a petition for visitation, you now have to wait 4 months to be heard. 4 months. Now you're going another 4 months not seeing your kid, or another 4 months without getting the right amount of child support, or going 4 months with paying too much child support. What would be the ramifications of switching a lawyer for immigration? How much would it delay your case?
I think one of the biggest problems with that, with such short notice is, and we've experienced this before, we can accompany the client, but there's a high likelihood that the old attorney may still be contacted, or that the old attorney may still be the attorney of record, simply because immigration never updated their records. So there's a possible, issue with communication, because while we may be the new attorneys, again, the old attorney may still be in the loop. The old attorney may get correspondence. The old attorney may get the decision. So we typically like to take cases very early on, or in the middle, not the day before an interview, or typically not a month before an individual, before a trial or an individual hearing before an immigration judge. So for immigration purposes, I think the earlier during the case we take over, I think it's just easier. Would Conrad, Yi, would you agree?
And if I may interject in regards to taking over the case, if it's an interview before the immigration service, the green card office, you can go for the day of the interview. But if you're in court and there's a prior attorney on the record, then they're going to make you file what's called substitution of counsel, to let the court know that you're taking over as the new attorney. They may not let you do that if you're like a month away from the final trial date. They may not let you do that. The judge may think that this is not enough time for you to, get familiarized with the information in the case. So that could leave a lot up in the air if you try to switch attorneys too late before the final hearing date when you're in court. If you're just going for a green card interview, that's a different case.
Here's something for you, Yi. I want to, final question here before we conclude. It says here, I am the spouse of a green card holder. I passed my interview on the 4th of March. Everything was great except my testing medical has not been received. Unfortunately, the embassy closed without getting my passport. I got a green paper, which said visa approved. My question is, am I affected under the immigration ban? Should I need to wait until the end of this ban?
Yi?
Is that Yi? Yeah, I thought you were going to answer that one.
Yeah, I thought Yi was going to answer it. That one was for you, Yi.
The visa approval. So the visa's been approved.
It says so based on the paper that she got.
The visa was approved before the ban took effect. Then you're able to enter on that visa.
You want to make sure that the visa was approved, though. She should have some kind of documentation indicating that that visa has been approved, because when she gets on a plane, she's going to have to show that at the airline. She's certainly going to have to show those documents when she arrives in the United States. So
She
she
didn't
better
get her
make sure
passport
that she has
yet.
an approval.
Keep
What's
in
that?
mind-
And sometimes if it's an
keep in
issue,
mind she did not get her passport back.
That's a good. There's no way of knowing until she gets her passport back whether
Right.
she's actually been approved.
Right.
If she has not been approved, she's going to be subject to the ban.
She just got a green paper that says visa approved.
No, that's not going to cut it. It's going to depend
you
on
have
her
to have
passport.
the actual stamp in the passport.
Okay.
That's right.
all right. Gentlemen, been
One
great.
other thing, if it's an issue with the health, right? Sometimes they approve your visa and say that you have to check in with local health authorities as soon as you get to the United States. That's still a visa approval, even if there's a particular health issue, if that's what they're saying. You just need to report to the health authorities as soon as you get to the US.
Yeah, her situation, it's going to come down to what's in her passport when she gets it back. That's really the issue.
Okay, once again, that's the reason why you should call PPID. All right. The number to call now is 844-774-3529. That's 844-774-3529. This has been Cruising with the Case Handler. That's my colleague, Adam Handler, who is the top personal injury attorney, of course, in my opinion, when it comes to, of course, settling cases out there for this community and beyond. And once again, his number is 844-774-3529. I am also on with the top immigration attorneys, in my opinion, because they're so deep when it comes to that law firm and immigration. Over 50 years they've been operating and they have been helping out the immigrant community.
And practicing attorneys, all practicing attorneys.
Practicing attorneys, all right? I know.
Stress that. That's important.
It's very important. Practicing attorney. So why don't you expand quickly? 60 seconds. What's the difference between a non-practicing attorney and a practicing attorney?
Sure. Well, there's lots of lawyers. There's lots of people that graduate law school, take the bar, and become lawyers that aren't necessarily practicing attorneys. You know, they could be
Practicing meaning what? Let me just pretend like I don't.
practicing meaning deal with clients, meet with clients, work on cases, go to court, deal with legal issues themselves. Not just manage the operation. I mean, there's no knocks. There are lawyers that just manage their firm, or there's lawyers that don't even practice law. I mean, they're still lawyers, but they're not practicing attorneys. Everybody at our firm is a practicing attorney. The general, Alan Kay, the guy is God knows how old, right? He is busting his ass every day, back and forth from court, carrying his own bag.
He's been doing it for like 70 years already.
I thought he was your contemporary, Conrad. I thought you and him had been practicing for the same amount of time.
No,
Yeah.
I'm only doing it 37 years. He's doing it 50, 60, 70 years already.
Brian Isaac, our partner, running around like a chicken without a head, going from the appellate division first department to the appellate division second department, up to Albany to the Court of Appeals, to all the different courts. Every judge knows who Brian Isaac is. I mean, literally, I challenge you to show me a judge within 250 miles of where we're sitting right now that doesn't know who Brian Isaac is. Fred DeSico, running around doing closings at other offices, hosting closings at our office. I mean, we are all practicing attorneys, and it makes a difference because we have a different perspective on how to deal with cases when you're actually dealing with the cases.
We're actually squeezed. To simplify, we're on the field. We're playing the game. Okay, we're not sitting on the sidelines, calling play. We're on the field. We're playing the game.
Yep. You're not on the bench.
That's right.
It's not knocking anybody, but if I had a choice between going with a lawyer that's a practicing attorney or going with a lawyer that's going to just hand my case to somebody else, I'd prefer to go to the lawyer that's going to handle my case themselves.
Yep.
That's just me.
Sounds like a place where we all have been and I've seen. Anyway, so once again, ladies and gentlemen, This is great. This is good stuff. The number once again is 844-774-3529. That's 844-PPID LAW. Prior results do not guarantee similar outcome, but obviously you know you should be down with PPID. You know me. All right. 844-774-3529. And of course, this has been an attorney advertisement. Reach out to them. They're located in New York City at 225 Broadway, also in Brooklyn, and the address is
in Brooklyn,
Yes.
107 Avenue I. We are conveniently located by the Avenue I train station, which is the F train, and the B11 bus, which stops right in front of our office, going in either direction. 107 Avenue I.
He got it. The F train.
We also have a location in Westchester, 906 South Street in Peekskill. I've had a lot of clients say that's actually, although it's a long drive, it's convenient because there's street parking. It's actually a smaller office also, so it's not as busy. And with COVID and everything going on, you may want to check that office out as well.
Got you. Once again, this
Also,
has been a great show.
Peekskill also is a nice little town. A lot of nice little restaurants. It's right on the Hudson River. It's a pretty place.
Yep, been there. Beautiful, beautiful place. All right. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much for tuning in, watching, and all of that. Do remember to share this link with all of your friends, family, foes, share with everyone. All right. And check out the show each and every single weekday, 8:30 a.m. On 93.5 FM and also on Facebook. All right. That's in New York. So thank you all so much for tuning in with us. Yi, thank you, man. So you're like that guy back in college, man, who, always kicking our ass because, it's like you already knew it before you started the class, So I want to say thank you so much for being here with us. You've got depth experience
Absolutely.
when it comes to immigration. Looking forward to meeting up with you again. And thank you, Conrad. Thank you, Adam. Thank you, Nelson. Let's link up. And by the way, have yourself an amazing Friday and an amazing weekend. Thank you all.
All right, guys.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks.